The Football Park in the 16th round. The Bulldogs take on the Bloods. First place Central Districts play 7th place West Adelaide. Both winners from round 15. So they go forward now through the efforts of Pryor, number 35, on his left foot, looking for Girdham. Can't find that player. We'll have a throw in centre wing. Fantastic conditions at Football Park. The sun's out. There's not much breeze. The crowd is good. Conditions fine. Set for a beauty. Burgess there. Pryor around the corner looking for Van Dommel. The captain goes forward on his left foot. It's a bad kick, but it finds Kickett. He's quickly on. To Lally. He's good football. That's their first, and the Bulldogs get away.
Oh, and only 45 seconds gone in the game. Derek Kickett could have kicked that goal, but he instead elected to handball off to the running player in Stephen Lally. The Bulldogs have opened well. Oh, Central District, they've defeated Glenelg by 23 points last week. West Adelaide have won 3 out of their last 4 games and really aren't an easy beat side, and the Bulldogs keen, obviously, very early to get on top.
6 points in 45 seconds, their first goal. What a great start. Coach Neil Curley will be very happy with that. We're going to have a change of balls by the looks of things as Peter Bubner sets himself in ruck. What an athlete he is. Number 14, can play at centre half back in the ruck. Represented our state on a few occasions. And the umpires for today's clash, Michael Abbott and Laurie Argent. And Michael Abbott having a chat about a new football. At first we didn't have any, and now we've got too many. Laurie Argent trying to get the right ball.
Level, I don't think he looks overly happy with that ball. The umpires are going to confer over it.
And David Neil Curley wouldn't be happy with this. I don't think any coach would be. Great start, and then to have your momentum interrupted. Nonetheless, Bubner in ruck against Barsh. Barsh gets the knock. Follows up, but not Shaw. Neville Shaw, number 34, goes forward. Miller underneath it, couldn't take it. First to it there, James. Over the top. McKinnon back to Spawn. Spawn back in the side after injury. Looking for a big one from him today. Spawn now. A big week last week, West Adelaide without this player. Beat Port Adelaide by 9 points on their home turf. To the square. Off the ground. Carl Herbert, it looked like, and the Bloods away to their first. They draw the score 2 minutes into the first quarter on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, and that's what Neil Curley didn't want. The Bulldogs had the momentum in the first 45 seconds of the game. Lally goal, the Bulldogs were rushing forward. They had their momentum up, but that flat ball or that ball problem really has meant that the West Adelaide side were able to regroup. Central District lost a little bit of their puff, and West Adelaide now have got the quick reply.
Tied away, 6 points each. Barsh, in he comes against Bubner, gets the knock. Smith in there, McKinnon. And there'll be a pretty aggressive start to this game. It'll be quick. The surface will encourage that. Laurie Argent puts the ball down. Bubner this time gets the knock. Jamie Thomas sits over the ball, it comes up for him. Cadham tells him to get rid of it quickly, he does. Through strongly there, like Lauby. First to it, Van Dommel. It's his second kick for the game. Around the corner is good. That's his first, and the Bulldogs second on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, and the Bulldogs playing with a little bit of flair. Van Dommel with his first goal. We've only played 4 minutes into the first term of this game from Footy Park, and already there's 3 goals on the board. Centrals have 2 straight, West Adelaide 1. It's going goal for goal, and this really could develop into a top encounter.
Van Dommel, number 32. Captain of Central Districts, of course. 86, 87, and just now 88. Barsh and Bubner again. Barsh it was to Shaw. See how many times do we see that happen? Scott Lee underneath it. Herbert spoils him. Ball's loose. Herbert in strongly. Number 11 for Central Districts was Sullivan. Filkey through strongly. And the ball will go out of bounds. No one will shirk the issue today. Both coaches would demand that they stay over the top of the ball, and aggression and intention would be the name of the game, particularly early.
Jens Kreuter opposed to Brady. Kreuter took front position and tapped it down over the top of that one. Gavin Chaplin switches direction, goes across the face of goal and goes wide, sitting out underneath that one Rowe, but he couldn't get there before the ball went out of bounds on the full. So really just coming unstuck for the Bulldogs from defence. Chaplin's kick was wide. Randall Bennett on that left boot, drives it high into the full forward post, sitting out underneath it. Old Miller couldn't take it. Kreuter over the head. Is it a goal? Watch this one go through. It has. Has it touched on the line? Defensively, the Bulldogs bring it out. Oh, I thought for sure that was going to be a goal. Now Kieran Spawn, first game back from injury and not gaining his balance on that occasion. The kick was a shocker, out of play. We played almost 6 minutes into the first term. And Neil Curley, I'm sure, just contemplating some moves. Not this early, of course, but what might be.
The throw-in. Carl Herbert around the corner. Scott Lee there. Ooh, with Pryor. And
yeah, no worries.
no worries, he says, as the cameraman nearly jumped out of the way there, David. Nothing to fear. We're a long way away. Brady it'll be. Against Kreuter. Underneath it there, Thomas. Playing in the centre. Goes on to McAdam. Plenty of space for this fella to run, and he's got plenty of toe. Have a look at him. Has a look up. Wants to give it off to someone in the forward line. Goes towards Lally. Kick it slips over. Burgess is back first to it. Goes to Goss. To Lowby. Oh, he's cleaned up after play. That's the way it'll go. Michael Abbott agrees with that. Kieran Spawn's the receiver. Grandstand side with his third kick. Chips short. Giving him the space there. It's number 13 for West Adelaide, Trevor Larkins. Boy from Swan Hill on his left foot goes to half forward. From behind, Miller can't take it, or can he? Toomey it was. Great grab. Conceded front position to Brady. Came from behind. He plays on to Shaw. Back to Lamb. Lamb has a look. He likes to use the ball. What a great kick that was. Found Spawn in the middle of a hive of Central District's players. He goes to full forward. Miller underneath it. Taps back. Pryor there. Read that well. Goes towards the goals. Sullivan to Lee. Hasn't got it. Held on to by Randall Bennett. Scott Lee now. Plays on. Far side of the ground, and the Dogs are out of trouble.
Jamie Thomas has time for a couple of bounces. Now chips forward on the lead. Roger Girdham. He has space. He's well out in front of Paul Patterson. This way, that way. Off goes the handball. Conceding ground. Thomas. He was collected as he dispatched the ball. Girdham unsure where to go. Finally, it went. Oh, free kick downfield. Oh, no, there's been a free kick against the Bulldog side. Yes. No, it is a free kick downfield. Philip Graham, it drives wide, but Kieran Spawn picking up a number of possessions early, feeds it off with the handball to Filkey. He's had his 6th possession in only 8 minutes of footy. Miller couldn't get there. 38 is Mark Botka for Central District. He's happy to go straight across the line and out of play. 2 goals straight, the Bulldogs. West Adelaide 1 straight goal. There's only 6 points in this encounter.
I've just got a feeling that West Adelaide, a bit of confidence from last week after their win, might take it right up to the Dogs today. Time will tell. Randall Bennett stays over the top of the ball. He pitches it out to Larkins, to James. Spawn now. Let's have a look at him. A talented player here is on his left foot over the top. Oh, a great goal. Kieran Spawn, his first, and the Blood second on 10 Sports Action.
Well, if that goal's any indication, maybe, just maybe, today's going to be West Adelaide's day. Kieran Spawn with his first goal, and I think it's perhaps a goal that shouldn't have been, with his 5th kick. Scored his first goal, but it was Paul Sullivan who slipped over in the goal square, and really, had he been able to keep his feet, it would have been the easiest of defensive marks, but he unfortunately tripped at the unfortunate time, and West Adelaide have levelled the score.
Level pecking at Footy Park. 10 minutes into the first quarter. Michael Abbott puts the ball down. Bubner decides not to go. Takes the knock from Barch. Was intelligent play, Bubner. Ends up getting the free kick. He's a great athlete. Many facets of football he's not skilled in. Chips it in. Good lead by Handley and a good kick. Central District's another shot at goal. He'd be 40 metres out. Goss on the mark. What breeze there is right behind him. We know him to be a pretty straight kick. In he comes. On number 37, Hanley's first. The Dogs third on 10 Sports Action.
Robert Hanley, with that goal, has brought up his 24th goal for the season. He's been a pretty handy recruit since coming to the Bulldogs from Hawthorn. Really gives them a little bit of vigour, particularly with Rudy Vandermaker out with a knee injury. Hanley filling that full forward post has been the ideal replacement.
The Dogs have been forward 3 times. Each time they've scored. 3 straight goals. Bubner now to Thomas. Smith over the top. Pretty erratic sort of attack at the ball. Laurie Argent will do the bouncing. Plenty of experience, this umpire. Barsh against Bubner. Barsh gets the knock to Carl Herbert. Smith tackles him and we'll have another bounce up. Centre of the ground. We've played 10 minutes of the first quarter on 10 Sports Action.
This game turning out already to be an absorbing encounter as Bubner in ruck thumps the ball down. Jamie Thomas in turn fists it forward. Oh, this is allowed space. Chaplin has the run of the ball. It wouldn't sit for him. He threw it out wide. Lally on the left boot lines up the goals. Is it his second? It's coming around. Oh, it's not. 1 goal, 1 to Lally. Thought that was going to come around with the breeze. Stephen Lally, who kicked the first goal of the game, an opportunity there to put the Bulldogs even further in front.
Oh, and Goss chips out. He was lucky to get that over the top of the Central District's player. Caught with the ball there was Larkins. Lally now. He's been busy already in this first quarter. To Bubner. Back to Van Dommel. He'll try and set the ball up. He does to Thomas. Not Thomas. Looks like Hanley again. Picked it with his socks down. Of course, Jamie Thomas likes to wear his Guernsey out and his socks down too. Well, Hanley kicked there last. It was a bit further out than this. Deliberately comes in. He's put it to the left this time. And, wouldn't be happy with that, nor would Neil Curley. Takes them on to 3 goals, 2-20. They lead the Bloods 2 goals, 12 points.
Oh, they're the ones you need to nail just to shake off a plucky side like West Adelaide. I think West Adelaide have won 3 of their last 4 games. Their improved form in recent weeks suggests that they could have had a real chance of winning this against league leaders Central District. Now McKinnon with the ball, speeds away from the outer wing. Oh, he has time for a couple of bounces. He did that well, long into the full forward line. No one home, McCann. Oh, cleverly done. Really does cover some ground. A very quick player over the head of Gavin Chaplin, bursting his way through Pryor. Now off it goes Rowe. But his kick wasn't a measured one. It was too long, and Clayton Lamb, playing at half-back, has the mark. 13 minutes gone. Lamb has found Filkey. Oh, that's a good one-hander mark. Off goes Filkey. Oh, it was smothered off the boot. He butters up on the second occasion. Now drives long at the back. Miller sits himself up. Oh, across the front of the back. Great mark taken there. Underneath that one, Scott Lee. And the Bulldog defender really did a good job. Felt that Miller had to sit under that one. Scott Lee drives long. Barch couldn't take the ball. It rebounds forward. Filkey was held. Play on the call. Now he receives a free for a push in the back. He dived on top of it. Earned it the hard way. Spawn from half forward. Oh, he sold the dummy well. Now he drives it in long. Miller's there on this occasion. Can he get there? Back with him is Botka. Coming through solidly. Toomey picked it up. Belted it through. Good work, Tickets, Toomey. That's West Adelaide's goal. They now advance to 3 goals, trailing the Bulldogs 3 goals 2.
Good Toomey playing at centre half forward, doing a lot of work. He's good in the air. He works hard on the ground. And this year in particular, he's been pretty disciplined, very dangerous around goal. And on that occasion, brought up his first and the Bloods third. And they're staying in there with Central Districts. They won't let them get any space at all at the moment.
By Michael Abbott. Put the ball to ground again. Bubner drives it wide off, picked up by Randall Bennett. The left footer goes through half forward. No one home for West Adelaide. Central District defence working solidly. Sullivan. Schwert was there in support, shepherding. Oh, but the kick again is too long, and that's been part of their problem. Cross half back, Clayton Lamb will peg off anything that's not placed correctly. Sulla from behind tried to spoil. Kieran Spawn working solidly, got his way through. Now McAdam over the top of the ball. Scott Lee, the defensive kick forward. First man there, Philip Graham, punched away by Lamb. Now over the top of it. An opportunity there for Gavin Chaplin. He couldn't keep the ball in play. Carl Herbert was the player there who forced him across the line. And we'll have a throw in 15 minutes into the first term.
Bubner against Barch. A decisive knock. Spawn just lets the lead go through there. Like he didn't collect anything. Not too concerned about it. Laurie Argent with Michael Abbott controlling the game. Down goes the ball. In goes Barch. Big knock. No value in that. Centre wing. Really should try and tap the ball. If he's going to go for a big knock, he's really got to bring it back to some advantage. Against Bubner. Bubner can jump. On that occasion gets the knock. Smith through strongly. Shaw with him. Interfered with. He'll get a free kick. Boy from Collingwood goes short to Jamie Thomas playing in the centre. Randall Bennett there with him. This will be his third kick, Jamie Thomas. He likes to get onto those screw punts. Not bad at him either, as McAdam read that well. Hard to say he was trying to find him with a screw punt, but he certainly wanted it, McAdam. He lets go with a long one into the square. Underneath it, kick it, up high, can't take it. Winter there doing the defending. And at the 17-minute mark of the first quarter, it's the Dogs by 2 points.
West Adelaide are good enough not to allow the Bulldogs to get too far away. Goss has been an improved player since going to full back, drives towards the outer side. Lamb set himself, but McAdam, the football freak, was marked at the front of the pack. Kick number 4 for McAdam. Looks to go short or underneath that one. Well placed, Rene Van Dommel. The option was Van Dommel or Bubner. They were both there. And Rene Van Dommel already has 1 goal. An opportunity now lining up for goal number 2. Kick number 4 for Van Dommel, who won the toss and kicked to the southern end with the use of what is about a 3 or 4 goal breeze. Lines up with the breeze at his back. The kick's going offline, however, and it'll be through for 1 behind. 3 goals for Central District. West Adelaide 3 straight goals.
Goss will bring the ball in for the Bloods. Nothing wrong with their performance to date. Kicks off short to Filkey, under pressure, takes a hard one. And really Goss wouldn't be happy with his kick in there. He really had to be Filkey's eyes. And by that I mean he had to make the judgment for Filkey. Filkey just made the lead and into the space. The kick either had to be very, very accurate or he had to ignore it. Wasn't that an accurate kick, and Grantley Filkey paid the price. Nonetheless, he's pretty tough. That won't stop him. He goes to the half-back line. Underneath it, Winter. Juggles it, can't take it. Bennett now. On his left foot. Bounce goes over the top of the pack. Carl Herbert in hard. Oh, Pryor there. Nothing will stop him. Lally now on his right foot. Towards Hanley, but behind Goss. Too good from behind. Judged it better. Plays on. Changes direction, grandstand side. Filkey slips. Has enough cool to gather, but under pressure, has to go for the line. Centre wing will have a throw in 18 minutes into the first quarter. And you're on 10 Sports Action.
4 points the margin. I mentioned earlier an absorbing battle developing between these two sides. Neither able to get clear at this stage. It was Lally. Drives forward underneath that one. Philip Graham, but from behind Tony Burgess, too strong and too tall. Feeds it off to Goss. Run down by Hanley. The kick goes wide. So they're switching direction, West Adelaide, but they're not gaining much advantage. On this occasion, the ball goes wide to the outer side and out of play. Still the margin 4 points. We've had 19 minutes of the first term.
Girdham, number 10. Playing centre wing. Lally going against Croyder. There's an odd match. Bennett is interfered to by Girdham. He should get a free kick. Not much happening up the ground. Probably go long. High to centre wing. Bubner and Brady. The ladder takes it to grab mark. Too much height, and I suggest if they're going to bring the ball into centre half forward like that, West Adelaide will struggle all day. Good player. A good season, Brady. Comes back high from behind is Goss. We've seen him do that before, and you've got to deliver the ball a little bit better try and give him an advantage. Goss's kick off hand, Smith crumbs. Left foot back in is good play. Finds Handley again. This player knows how to get into space. He's got plenty of pace. He's very fit. Robert Handley has one. Kicked it from just this position earlier in this quarter. Goalwards he goes. That's his second. Central District's fourth. They go to 28 now, leading West Adelaide 18 on 10 Sports Action.
And Robert Handley had to kick that goal. He had Jamie Thomas well and truly clear in the forward pocket. He elected to ignore that player. So given those circumstances, he really did need to drill that. He did so. 2 goals to him in the opening 20 minutes of this game. Now the margin 10 points and Central District had the upper hand.
Nice looking sunglasses. John Lennon at his best. 4 goals forward, 28. Plays 3 goals, 18. The Dogs in front. Bubner. Good tap to Lally. Filkey. Grantley Filkey. Very desperate. Lost his mouth guard. Just give that a quick wipe and put it back in. Nothing wrong with the footy park dirt. No, he's probably had a fair bit of it in his mouth before. With his 5th kick towards Toomey. Brady from behind is a good knock. Lamb trips, trying to crumb, can't. Van Dommel off hands. Carl Herbert back to Filkey. Left foot in high. Underneath it. Oh, James off the pack. Let's go with his left foot towards the pocket. Barsh resting. Sullivan there. Met heavily. Squirt relieves. Jamie Thomas now having some touches out of the centre. Gives off to Lally. He's been busy too. Dummies around. Drops it. Gets it back to Bubner. Bubner's kick poor. Graham couldn't take it. Kick it. Tries to do the impossible. And I guess if you're a left footer and you back yourself in, that's not an impossible angle maybe, but he might have been better served, David, to have turned around on his right and had a look to see who was inside.
We certainly had the time, Neville. As Winter drives the ball to the outer side, Jens Kreuter, who's taken responsibility of the first ruck situation since Shane Malcolm's been in the reserves prior on that occasion. Well, no, Chaplin held when not in possession. Patterson was the offender. Now a 15-metre penalty. Oh, this could be dangerous. This might bring Gavin Chaplin within goal-scoring distance. And he certainly knows how to kick a goal. He has 28 goals for the year. And a very valuable recruit. Gavin Chaplin. "35 metres out, almost directly in front, lines up the goals. It's coming through nicely. He's got it. That's his first for the afternoon. The Bulldogs 5 goals for West Adelaide, 3 straight on the 10 Sports Action.
Gavin Chaplin, a very busy rover, number 4, and he's having a good season. Together, he's been roving most of the season with Eddie Hocking. Doing it well.
In ruck, Bubner and comes down. Oh, Lamb having a run on the ball, feeds it off to Randall Bennett, who ran into the centre square. Scott Lee defensively did that very well. Off it goes. Sullivan from defence on the left. Bird drives long. 2 Central District players, well shepherded. Thomas McAdam has the run of the ball, has time for a bounce. Oh, he'll evade the tackle, he'll do that well. He'll line up the goals. No, he goes short. He could have lined up the goals. He was looking for Handley, but now an opportunity for Patterson to take the ball across the line. And I couldn't help but thinking that maybe McAdam could have drilled that.
It was interesting to see the forward line set up as the ball came in there from McAdam. He had any number of options. Those Central District's forwards really do make a move. They go into their own space, they create it, and they're very dangerous. Hard to stop. It was really more McAdam's mistake than anything else that prevented them from scoring a goal there. He had plenty of options. Also had the final option of actually going to goal. Derek Kickett back in the side, recovered from injury. Limping there, but only temporarily, I suggest. Handley gets the knock. Goss, he's under pressure from Lally. Lamb, off his half back line to Filkey. Filkey now has a look in the centre. That's the way it goes to Burgess. He slips under pressure. Well chased, McAdam. Philip Graham it was. Patterson goes back inside, backwards to Kreuter. Kreuter's kick, not well directed. The 87 best and fairest. Scott Lee sends him back into action. Lally underneath it. Takes a good chest mark. With his 5th kick, doesn't know really what to do. Leads are all too early. No one in the square. Kickett drops back. That's the way it goes. High kick. Watch Kickett. Up he goes. Can't take it. Tries to get a foot to it. Winter happy to see it over the line. 1 point only. The Bloods 19. Trail Central Districts 34.
Derek Kickett in his first game back, just lacking a little bit of the timing that's made him a superstar. When that starts to come, gee, you'll be a dangerous forward again. McAdam combining well. Oh, he ducked underneath that one. He could have had his head taken off. Cleverly put, and underneath that one, Gavin Chaplin has the ball. Chaplin at half forward, too far out to score. Hanley's in the goal square. Girdham drifts across half forward looking for the lead, but Hanley's the target at full forward. He's at the front of the pack. He couldn't take it. Goss is there. Handballs towards the line. That's exactly where it'll finish. We're almost a minute into time on, and it's Central District by 17 points.
Kickett getting some attention from the trainers. Limping a little. Hope it's not serious. Kreuter against Hanley. Graham, Burgess, Lamb. All the players working pretty hard. All the players on both sides working pretty hard. We've played 26 minutes of the first quarter. It's been a good quarter of football. Plenty of skills. And the time has gone quickly. 5-5-35 plays. 3 goals, 18. And they're a very dangerous forward setup, the Dogs. When the ball comes in there, they really know exactly what each other are doing. And they're very damaging. Off the ground quickly, Burgess. Van Dommel does that well inside to Scott Lee. Quickly onto his foot. Underneath it, Girdham interfered with, no free kick. Graham was interfered with. Girdham gets it back. Goes towards goal. Too far left. 1 point only. 5-6-36 now. West Adelaide 3 goals, 18 points. David, could have been any one of 2 free kicks there, I think.
Very difficult to pick out, Neville. The thing that I was watching was the very, very quick hands that the Central District players had. They fed the ball on very, very quickly under plenty of pressure from the West Adelaide defence. That really is a sign of a good side, that they can move the ball around under pressure so quickly. Goss, oh, Lamb at the front couldn't take it. Carl Herbert roving can. He pushes it forward. Miller handballs forward, bounds out after it. In pursuit, an opportunity for Craig Brady. He can't take it. It's finally Scott Lee, who's playing a boomer of a game this first term. Lends his support and ties the ball up for a ball up. Oh, the Central District fans applauding the effort. Scott Lee's been impassable at half back. Bart's got the ball down over the top of it. An opportunity for Rene Van Dommel. He can't come clear. And now again, umpire Abbott will bounce.
28 minutes gone, first quarter. What a great day. Got a feeling the Bloods will take it right up to Central Districts today. They're the league leaders. They're the ones to beat. Van Dommel couldn't do anything with it. Sullivan off the ground. Burgess, what a good pickup for a big man. Spawn now tries to paddle along the boundary line. Boundary umpire in the way. Carl Herbert gets it. Left foot to half forward. McKinnon tries to get back. Sullivan drops it. Under pressure, Scott Lee now. Just Wirt. And the Dogs are out of trouble. Long screw punt. McAdam. It's the second time he's read the ball well like that. On his left foot towards Kickett with his 7th kick is good. Gee, Kickett working hard inside to Bubner. And we know he can belt a ball. He's only 45 metres out. Wind behind him. Has 3 kicks. Let's see what he can do. I'd love to go in at quarter time with another goal. He's got it. The Dogs now 6-6, 42. Lead West Adelaide 3 goals, 18 on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, and that goal shows the benefit of distributing the ball anywhere near McAdam. Gilbert McAdam really is a genius. He set that ball up. He took a very strong mark, played on and drifted the ball wide, allowed Kickett to mark, and Kickett brought the ball back to Bubner at centre half forward, and his 50-metre goal really was a good one just to finish off a great passage of play.
2 options at full forward, Kickett or Hanley. The centre bounce, McKinnon through strongly against Swirt. Swirt gets the free kick, plays on now. Brady has a look. Gee, they like to kick long. Out first, reading it well, was Winter. Left Kickett in the pocket, who seems to be just carrying a knock from earlier in this quarter. See what happens to him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go off. McAdam having kicks at will. Crumbs well. Goes backwards towards Brady. They set up well, the Dogs. In they come. Underneath it there, Girdham keeps his feet well. Handley now round the corner with a snap. Not a bad effort on his left foot. 1 point only. 6-7-43. West Adelaide 18 points on 10 Sports Action.
Robert Handley looming very dangerous at full forward, replacing Rudy Mandamaker. And although Glenn Goss has played very, very well, Handley with 4 scoring opportunities. 2 goals, 2 from only 4 kicks, has had 100% scoring rate. And had that been 3 goals, 1 or 4 goals straight, West Adelaide could have been in a lot more trouble. Goss goes wide. Jamie Thomas, first man there. Kieran Spawn with him. Thomas thumps the ball forward. An opportunity now for Chaplin. He can bend the ball back towards the goals. He does so. First man there over the top of it. Oh, getting the kick away, Handley, but he was pulled off the ball by Randall Bennett. Well done, Bennett. And the boundary umpire will bring it back into play. We've had 31 minutes of the first term.
43 plays 18. Whatever breeze there is, the Dogs are going with it. Jens Kreuter. Nifty Neville Shaw now. Plenty of time. Well shepherded by Filkey. His kick to half-back. James in front. Can't hold it against the talented Bubner. And Mark Pryor lending a hand there. And 200 gamer. Plenty of experience. Been a great player. And his heart's at the Dogs. Wouldn't it be great to see him get a flag before he finishes? Around the corner they come. Sure it was. McKinnon underneath it. He can't keep it in. Out of bounds. Centre wing. 31 minutes gone in the first quarter. We're set for a great game at Footy Park.
25 points now the margin. The Bulldogs stepping away. West Adelaide were making it a close encounter early, but the class of Central District side really has shone in the latter half of this term as the siren sounds. 32 minutes into the first term. Central District 6 goals 7-43. Lead West Adelaide 3 straight goals, 18 points.
We start the second quarter at Football Park. The Dogs 6-7-43 lead the Bloods 18 points. Barch in ruck. Out to Spawn against McAdam. McAdam had a very good first quarter. Clayton Lamb playing on the half back line. Uses his unnatural leg and goes short to James. James now playing on the ball, resting at half forward. The left footer pushes it into full forward. Underneath it there, Kreuter couldn't take it. Botka pushes it out. Lally now taps it on towards Lee. He's got the run of it. There's plenty of West Adelaide players on his heel. Plenty of bodies thrown in. Smith tripped by Larkins. That's the way the free kick will go. And the Collingwood ruck rover follows the line of the wing behind Burgess. Spoils. Filkey crumbs. No one goes to help him. They all sit out. Possibly part of their problem, West Adelaide, is Filkey dangerously back to the centre of the ground. Brady high. Graham now to Brady. Dangerous kick, Filkey. They'll pay the price for this. Graham in heaps of space. Coming out to meet him, Winter. Cleverly behind to Girdham. Girdham in the pocket. But Gossett was. It got a foot to it and relieves the pressure and saves Grantley Filkey an embarrassing end.
West Adelaide supporters covering up. I suppose when you're 25 goals down, 25 points down, you can't blame them. Bubner tapped it down to Girdham, who fed it off in turn. Chaplin. Aerial ping pong as Shaw pushes the ball down to Clayton Lamb. He bangs one long, but too wide, out of bounds on the full. Behind play, I can just notice that Greg Smith being tagged by Trevor Larkins, and Larkins is not allowing Smith any latitude at all. McAdam. Kick number 8, drops it in short. Oh, at the back of the pack kick, it couldn't take it. Neville Shaw can. Over the top he goes. Clayton Lamb back to Shaw, and the 1-2 is good work, and Shaw chips short. Well done, he's found James at centre field. James plays long and wide to the outer side on that left boot. A raking kick. Oh, Brady was held. Play on the call now, free kick. Craig Brady will have the ball. The umpire indicates it must come back. Craig Braddy playing at centre half back, kick number 4. Elects to go straight down the field. That's the direct route home. Looking for Bubner. Bart spoils. Neville Shaw. Oh, underneath that one, doing it well. Sullivan. Miller tried to spoil strongly. Now Braddy across the top to Gavin Chaplin. He drives long. Oh, McAdam in space. He's starring today. He really is a superstar, this young player. Now he drives it in on the left foot, looking for Handley. Goss spoils. Philip Graham over the top of it. Can he get clear? He can't. And now umpire Laurie Argent indicates that he'll bounce. Interesting passage of play. Handley and Goss were going pretty solidly at each other. Philip Graham lost his footing. Barch. Handley taps it down. Kieran Spawn around the corner. Into space, no one home. Rene Van Dommel for Central Districts drives it in, but underneath that one, taking his 3rd very good mark for the afternoon, Glenn Goss.
Glenn Goss played a bit at full forward, but he looks a lot more comfortable at full back. Very sure and confident he goes towards the ball. He likes to take a mark. Very strong hands. His kick now with Larkins. Larkins kick to the wing. Carl Herbert in a desperate diving mark is successful. He goes on quickly. 4th kick. Out on a lead. Toomey can't take it. Pryor first to it. He'll chip short. Looks for Chaplin. Misses that player. McAdam with help. Sullivan now with the ball. Plenty of time. Absolutely no pressure. His kick is poor though. Looking for Lally. Lowby first to it. Gurdon with him. Gets out of that well. Plenty of bodies behind play. Nothing serious. Burgess. Larkins. Under pressure. The Dogs come at him fast. Barch now to Lamb. Van Dommel disposes of him. Not within the rules, says Laurie Argent. Van Dommel doesn't like it, but it is in the back. There's a free kick. That'll go the way of Clayton Lamb.
Lamb from half-back has the ball. 5 minutes gone almost of the 2nd quarter. Kick number 6 coming up for Clayton Lamb. The margin's still 25 points. Oh, 2 West Adelaide players tripped each other. That was McKinnon and Kreuter. Now Gurdon with the ball. Over the top he goes. Chaplin into space. That long sleeve Guernsey streams downfield, chips it into Handley. Oh, he needed 2 bites of that and couldn't take it. Goss cleverly kicks it back. Well done to Patterson. In turn, Shaw. Now Patterson thumps it towards the line. Good defensive work, Paul Patterson. West Adelaide defence now starting to regroup. They will run ragged in that first term as supporters there. Just enjoying a pleasant day at Football Park and great football. 6 goals Central District kicked in the first term. The Bulldogs could only manage 3. So there was 13 scoring shots to 3. Such was the Bulldogs' dominance. Lally from half forward. Elects to go long and high. Kick it underneath that one. Oh, from the front though, Barch really has developed as a league footballer. So much so he's taken Shane Malcolm back to the reserves.
He goes backwards, concedes ground to Shaw in an attempt to get a loose player and play on. Burgess now with the ball. He plays on, but back to Shaw, puts him in all sorts of trouble. Holding the ball's a decision. And West Adelaide, it's pretty foolish use of the ball. Jamie Thomas, kick 5, goes short, finds Chaplin. He's been busy. Centres the ball. Choice of players, Van Dommel or Lally. The ladder marks, chips short. Handley on a lead. Paid. Goss doesn't agree. As he uses him as a mat. Handley not very happy about that. I wouldn't be either. But Robert Handley has 2 goals, both in the first. Add to that 2 behinds. 4 shots at goal with kick number 5 coming up. So with every kick he's had a shot at goal. Coming back, touches the aluminium. So 2 goals, 3. Robert Handley. Central Districts now 6-8-44. Lead the Bloods 3 goals, 18 on 10 Sports Action. Glenn Goss will bring the ball back into play.
Long raking left foot kick has cleared into the centre square. Clayton Lamb was up, couldn't take it at the back of the pack. Burgess with pace, watch him go. He was shepherded well by McKinnon. Brady streams out from half back. Now Pryor in turn. Scott Lee impassable in the first term. That's the first mistake Scott Lee's made. Everything else has been inch perfect. And perhaps it wasn't a mistake at all. It's just bounced inside the line and out of play. Scott Lee, the Bulldogs' best and fairest winner in 1987, having a good day.
Barch and Bubner. Clayton Lamb off the ground. Runs into a wall of players. Bennett. Now James. Likes to use the ball. Does that well on that occasion. Finds Shaw. He goes off to Bennett. They go goalwards, the Bloods. Kreuter spoilt there by Bodker. Brady, the ball sits for him nicely. Has time. Pushes it out to the far side. Thomas underneath it. Goes for the big grab. Doesn't take it, but Crumb's the better of the lot. McAdam. He invented the word space. He's just in it all the time. 10th kick he's had. Only played 8 minutes of the second quarter. Winter out in front of Kickett. Got the contract on him today. Jamie Thomas now back to Graham. Uses his vision to Girdham. Girdham now chip short looking for Lally. Well, Chaplin it was. McAdam again. Geez, covering some ground. Keeps the ball in front of him. Gets it up. He's tackled from behind by Lowby. Oh, unlucky not to get a free kick. Play goes on though. Burgess comes away with it. The Blood's out of trouble. He looks for Lamb. It goes over that player's head. Lally nearly loses his feet. Kicks short. He goes back into Robert Hanley. Has 2 goals, 3 from 5 kicks. I wouldn't think he'd have a shot from goal. For goal from there. Laurie Argent supervising the mark and the angle. So Robert Hanley pushed out into the shadows of the grandstand. Punches the ball into the square. Players set themselves, but the only player that goes up was Barch.
Barch defensively towards Winter on the boundary line. Drives it long to the outer side into space. It's a foot race. First man there, and well done, Robin McKinnon. He feeds off the handball, inch perfect off. Filkey, watch him go. He's got time for 3 or 4 bounces. He's had 2. Now he drives it long into the full forward post. Underneath that one, Carl Herbert, he couldn't take it. Scott Lee could at the back of the pack, and he drives it out wide to run. Trevor Rowe, now 15-metre penalty against Bennett. That was a professional one. The Bulldogs were away. Underneath that one, getting one hand to it. Over the top goes the handball. Now Burgess came from Van Dommel. Kick it. Couldn't take it. Now Lowby. West Adelaide forward. Bennett there. He can't take the ball, but across the line it goes directly in front of the members' grandstand. Almost 10 minutes gone, second term. The margin now is 26 points.
The Bloods opened well, but haven't been able to go on with it. Defensive line of Central District's very strong. Barch on his left foot. Well, it's the second time I've seen West Adelaide players kick into the centre of the ground loosely. It's just undisciplined. It's not on. They pay the price, unfortunately, for Centrals. They get out of it that time through Miller to Kreuter. Ball will sit for him, but Sullivan's right there. He chips back into the centre of the ground. All the Central District's players read it better. Brady ends up with it. Scott Lee gives him a runner. To half forward they go. Smith's underneath it, as was Van Dommel. He chips around the corner now. Finds Graham. He won't hang on to it. He'll want to get it in pretty quickly. Or it goes short. On a lead, Hanley couldn't take it. Goss right with him. Chaplin now busy through the pack. Touches it on the end of his hand. Well shepherded. Props. Pushes it back to the front of the square. Kick it. Will he have a jump? Not on that occasion, as Patterson takes a well-judged mark.
Paul Patterson, a strong defender for West Adelaide. It's his first kick for the afternoon, but he has had 3 handballs. Underneath that one, Filkey shepherded Philip Graham off the ball. Rowe pushes it out to Chaplin in turn. He's found Lally. Lally short to the outer side. Girdham all by himself. Girdham will go back and take a shot for goal. No, he'll chip off to the running player in Jamie Thomas. And Thomas just found space, and that was just a little too easy. Philip Graham comes off the field, coming on big Richard Lounder for a run on the ball. And Thomas looks to feed off. Gilbert McAdam into space again. There's no doubt in my mind it would have been an easy shot for goal for Jamie Thomas, but he's elected to give it to McAdam. Gilbert McAdam, 25 metres out on a modestly tight angle, but he's a very skilled player. 12 minutes gone into the second term. He lines up. He's drilled it. That's his first. The Central District side 7th. They're 7 goals, 8. West Adelaide 3 straight goals.
Well, apart from being very aggressive and very intent on the ball, Central District can use the play and the ball very well to their advantage. They keep possession of the ball. They're highly skilled. When they go forward, they're always very dangerous. They're doing it well at the moment with their 7th goal.
Umpire Abbott to bounce. Streaming in at it, Barch. He thumps it forward over the top of that Girdham. Now Chaplin through Brad. He couldn't get boot to ball. Miller could get the handball off. McAdam over the top of it. Rene Van Dommel in there also. West Adelaide interchange bench warming up. Merv Harbinson there just having a run right of screen to the left. It's Nichols, Paul Nichols. Barch again, he's rucking well, gets it down through stream. Pry couldn't take it. Number 14, Clayton Lamb for West Adelaide. James there also for Westies. And coming up from the bottom of the pack, Roger Girdham. Laurie Argent sets the big men in motion. Barch again with the tap. He's dominating this game. Lounder had to come on for a run on the ball. Bubner was just being outgunned. Now another pack develops, and again we'll have a ball up.
Well, Barch is getting the knocks. He's 113 and Bubner 11, so doing a good job against an experienced player. Lounder against Barch there now. Brady comes out with it. Quick kick. Smith through. Ball sits for Handley. Tries to give it on to Smith. Would have done better to kick it himself. Patterson in there with Larkins. And, players stack up. Smith just indicating that he'd rather not people lay on top of him for too long. Michael Abbott will bounce it. Barch again. The knocked in again too. Handley very quickly puts it into the square. Winter decides that he'll just belt it out of trouble. Patterson underneath it tries to do the same thing. Might do better, fellows, to grab it. Working hard there, Filkey. Stays over the top of it. Clever Jamie or Robert Handley, but in the way, ever reliable Tony Burgess. Long kick to half forward. Miller gets a fist to it, pushes it over the back. Toomey out from full forward. Through strongly. Gets a call backwards to Randall Bennett. He's under pressure though. Met heavily by Girdham. All's fair. Don't agree with that. I don't think Neil Kearley does either. Play goes on. Into space. Filkey's there. Short to James. Can't take it over the top of his head. And Stephen Rowe will be happy to see it over the line. That'll increase the score of West Adelaide by 1 minor only. 3 goals won, their first, 19 points. Trail the Dogs 7-8-50 on 10 Sports Action.
Botka to Schwert. Oh, Schwert couldn't take it. Desperately done. Carl Herbert, he fights for that ball like a terrier. He paddles it out the back door. It allowed McKinnon an opportunity to dive towards the ball. Now back it goes. James to Toomey around the corner. He centred the ball. Who's there? Nobody for West Adelaide. Scott Lee for Centrals. There's Harbison warming up. Obviously a hard day at the office. Scott Lee, kick number 9, starring for the Bulldogs in defence. He's got plenty of time. Where does he distribute the ball to? Goes to the outer side, looking for Sullivan. He's up, couldn't mark it. Handley's there, Sullivan over the top of it. Desperate work by Burgess. West Adelaide working themselves back into this game. Jens Kreuter drives it towards the half-forward post, but in the way, taking good defensive mark, Mark Pryor.
Having as much as the ball, but just their skills letting them down, West Adelaide. They can't find the body. Every time they go forward, it's better read by the opposition. Rowe now over the top. Thomas shouldn't have that much space, nor should this fella, Chaplin, nor should this fella, Lally. Kevin Morris. Back to basics, I think. Just pick a Guernsey up. To the square, Lally. What a great kick. Number 16, almost a goal, not quite over the line. 1 point only. The Dogs 7-9-51. West Adelaide 3-1-19. And David, it's just far too loose. No pressure from any of the West Adelaide players on those utilities.
Well, I think that's the thing that West Adelaide coach Kevin Morris would be looking for, a tight defence. Bulldogs players have been running free. On this occasion, it's Smith around the corner. Oh, but Burgess sits back underneath that one. He's been a very good defender. And Iverson just sitting there enjoying it, but he is doing his stretch up and warm up exercises, I can guarantee you that. Schwert paddles it out into space. Kieran Spawn, who seemed to cop a nasty knock in the first term, and it took him out of the game. Lally threads it back. Spawn almost out of play, feeds it off. Cleverly done, good work. Patterson high into the half-forward zone. Toomey's underneath that one, thumps it down, but across the line. 17.5 minutes gone, second term from Football Park, and 51 plays 19, and that's what players do when they are sitting on the ground.
Yes, doing his stretching exercises. I don't think he'd be coming on this quarter, but obviously just wants to keep warm. Brady gets the knock against Barch. Girdham tackled around the shoulders. The decision is a free kick, too high. Play sets up along the wing. He has a look. Brady there gets away. Don't know where his opponent was in Miller. Far too much space for a big man to have when you haven't got the ball. Nonetheless, had plenty of kicks. Comes to the wing. Lounder underneath it. What a big man. Impossible to get over. Takes the mark. Goes on now to Thomas. His left foot is true. Finds Sullivan. Sullivan short again to Van Dommel. They go goalwards. Winter reads it better. Not a good kick in. Their possession football to them was very good. Back to the centre of the ground. Miller up from half forward. Goes over the top. That's an example of just not hitting a body. Toomey now back to Miller. Miller's kick. That's a better kick to James, but good defensive work by Pryor. And oh, that's just good close defensive work. Mark Pryor unlucky there. James the free kick. Fantastic conditions. That's looking upwards. Just state the obvious. Kick to Bennett. Bennett now. There's a look. Everything covered. Decides to open up the passage and go through the middle to Toomey. Back again there to Shaw. Loses his boot. Slips over. McAdam steals the ball back. Van Dommel fumbles. Girdham helps out. Brady on his knees to McAdam. The Dogs have got plenty of people, plenty of help. They're out of trouble. Lally has it. On his left foot to Thomas. Oh, he just bought this part of Footy Park. He owns it. No one's in it with him. Robert Handley now with pace. Oh, good tackle on him by Patterson. Burgess helps out. Out of trouble now the Bloods. Back to the centre of the ground. Lamb underneath it. Free kick. And the big left footer from half back will hopefully give him an advantage.
Lamb drives towards the outer side. Oh, no man's land. No one there, certainly for West Adelaide. Sullivan handballs it back. Now he feeds off his own handball. Smith, who's being tagged by Larkins, drives towards half forward. Oh, underneath that one, Patterson. He feeds it off quickly to Goss. That's good work, West Adelaide. Neville Shaw paddles it down. Goss follows up. He takes Lally out. Oh, but in doing so, he's given away a free kick.
David, they're just overusing the ball.
Schwert without the boot. Drives long. Kick it! Oh, it's the first we've seen of him. He's only had one kick this afternoon. That's his first mark. In fact, he's had two kicks, so this will be his third. His first kick was out of bounds on the full. Derek Kickett. 30 goals, 18 for the year, and that'll be 30 goals, 19 for the year. Kickett back from injury, first game back for the Central District side. He appears to need a little bit of conditioning.
Yes, when you have an injury, very hard to keep your fitness up. There's what the goal umpire can see. Now camera technology, up with the best of them. Great Mark Rowe, goes inside to Lally, to Smith. They're under pressure. Larkins closes, gets a kick away. Goss underneath it. Oh, the bounce goes against him. Very lucky. The umpire indicating that he did get a hand to it. So 1 point only. And Central District 7-11-53. Leading the Bloods 3-1-19.
The feature of Goss's game has been the length of his kicking. He's kicked out very well today. Oh, Smith underneath that one almost claimed it. Patterson handballs back to Larkins. That was holding the ball. He fumbled the handball under plenty of pressure, and that's what the Bulldogs have been doing. They've been making West Adelaide rush. Girdham from half forward drives long, kick it underneath this one. Oh, Bubner there also, but spoiled by Goss. Winter paddles it forward. Bennett feeds off. Now Winter again, drives long underneath that one. McKinnon, Schwert. Now Toomey well down from half forward. He feeds off the handball, but it's out of play. The boundary umpire will bring it back. 22 minutes gone, second term from Football Park. 7 goals, 11. The Bulldogs, West Adelaide, 3 goals, 1.
Richard Lounder in your screen from behind Jens Kreuter. With it, Randall Bennett on his left foot, pushes it into half forward. First to it will be Scott Lee. Herbert closes on him, but not before he gets a kick away. There's this man, James Thomas. Burgess meets him and does it well. It's a handball away. Kieran Spawn hasn't had a big afternoon yet. But he can certainly unleash himself to be very dangerous. Barch now. Handballs to Herbert. Another indication there that they just can't find a body. It sits for him. He goes into the square. Had McKinnon short. Didn't use him, and they'll pay the price. Toomey now come out to half forward and swap with Stephen Miller, who's gone back to full forward.
Oh, Neville, you were very accurate there. McKinnon was 30 yards clear of any player. All Herbert had to do was throw it over the top with a short kick, and West Adelaide would have had an easy shot for goal.
Too right. It's just a matter of how good your eyes are. Miller out of the ruck. It's touched. Great effort. Pinched it out of the ruck. And that's the sort of desperation that they need. Miller started at full forward, and or at centre half forward at least. Now gone back to full forward, and Toomey has swapped with him. So Kevin Morris made a change just to see if he can get the ball through half forward.
The kick from full back wasn't touched before it went out of play. Chaplin desperately tried to touch it. Now he paddled the ball away and has given away a further 15-metre penalty. So this will bring Jeff James well within goal scoring distance. He has the breeze favouring him. He'll only need to drift it up in front of the goals. The breeze will bring it back. That's exactly what he's done. Good work, Jeff James. West Adelaide needed that. They're 4 goals to Central 7-11 on 10's big replay.
Well, Jeffrey James, I'm glad you kicked that goal, because you had Clayton Lamb inside about 20 metres. Could have opened the goal face up 2, 3, maybe 4 times from what he could see himself. And I'm sure Clayton Lamb would have been abusing him if he hadn't have kicked that goal. And I just wonder, it's not the percentage thing to do, but nonetheless, well done. That's a reviver. Let's hope they can get back in it from here.
24 minutes into the second term, and West Adelaide have scored their first goal for the quarter. McKinnon crashes his way through, belts the ball wide. Brady through strongly. Now Van Dommel. Filkey, first man there, West Adelaide. Swings it back towards the centre. He was looking for Kreuter. Too long, too high. Jamie Thomas backdoors it. Schwert. Central District have runners into their forward zone, but Goss backing his judgment out from full back. Really playing a great game, the game of his life from full back. Finally, it finishes with Toomey. He feeds it on. James shepherding. Shaw into space. Can't get there as Sullivan crashes out. Chaplin over the top of the ball, but there's a kicking in danger infringement, and the free kick's going back the way of David Toomey. Just into time on. Toomey to the lead of Miller. Miller's up from behind. He's got it! Oh, over big Richard Lounder. He set himself for that. That's his second mark, Stephen Miller, and this is a crucial one. West Adelaide need this. They trail by 27 points. They need a flurry of goals before half-time. Stephen Miller. Kick number 5. He's also had 4 handballs. This will be his first goal for the afternoon. He's drilled it right through the middle. Miller's first. West Adelaide 5 goals to the Bulldogs 7-11.
Well, they were very fortunate to have Stephen Miller take that mark. Once again, as they came to through their half-forward line on the far side of the ground, they just threw the ball loosely with a handball over the top of the pack, and I guess that's what Central Districts have been relying on, the bad avenues they come to goal. But on that occasion, great Mark Miller.
This is the period of the game where it's very important. We're into time on. Sides win and lose games in this section of the quarter. Desperate work by the Bulldogs. Backdoor Van Dommel. The kick is short off. Burgess, courageous mark. Stood his ground. Big defender. Bounds away. Feeds off to Lowby. Good shepherd from behind by James. Now Herbert with the ball. The Bloods moving it around. Neville Shaw over the top. Toomey in space. Can the ball set for him? It does. Oh, now it doesn't. Rebounds back to him, bends it back around the corner. Is it going to score? It's not. Out of bounds on the full, but West Adelaide showing greater desperation.
Carl Herbert gave the ball over the top, or it might have been McKinnon. It was a bad handball, but Toomey showed a terrific amount of courage just to stay with the line of that ball. He had players coming at him, albeit Chaplin, who's half his size, but he stayed in line. He got possession back, tried to chip it back to the front of the square. It was a great effort. Jens Kreuter in your screen there. Well, that's not Jens Kreuter. A lot of trouble if it is. Some interested supporters. Lauder takes it out of the pack. Van Dommel quickly onto his boot. Kreuter there. That's Jens Kreuter. First to it. Hanley can't keep it in play. We'll have a throw in centre wing. We've played 27 minutes of the second quarter. The Central's in control, but David, West Adelaide really making a thrust later in this second quarter.
West Adelaide have scored the last 2 goals as the siren sounds to complete the second term from Football Park. The Bulldogs 7 goals 11, 53 lead West Adelaide 5 goals to 32 on 10 Sports Action. The third term underway from Football Park, and West Adelaide came back late in the second term. They trailed by 35 points late, but they've been able to reduce that deficit to 21 points. They need a couple of quick goals as forward they go. Winter now playing at full forward. Toomey picks up the crumbs. Winter heads out underneath it, but he can't get there. Now Botka thrown away by James. Winter threads the ball through. Herbert onto McKinnon is good play. Herbert was taken to ground. Play on the call as Rowe for the Bulldogs. Feeds off to Chaplin. Oh, back to Rowe in the 1-2 is good work. The Bulldogs defensively have been very sound today. Chaplin around the ground has been a very good player. Kick number 11. Into space it goes. Out goes Lally, who scored the opening goal of the game. That's holding the ball. No doubt about that. And West Adelaide are still very vigorous at the body. Lowby with 13 kicks and a couple of handballs, been a good player. Gets it off to Shaw, who's been quiet. Through half forward they go. Botka edges out Winter. Coming through Sonnerly. Scott Lee was a star in the first half. Van Dommel finishes with the ball in trouble, taken to ground. Shaw out and turn. Now the ball finishes with Filkey. He drives it forward, but defensively, Pryor for the Bulldogs switches direction and comes across and is found in this, coming out of the centre, Jamie Thomas.
Thomas go through the centre looking for Big Launder. With him Barch. Toomey off the ground. McKinnon, the only West Adelaide player against Squirt. Oh, he does that well, McKinnon. Under a lot of pressure. Rowe over the top of him. Free kick, I'd suggest, in the back. That's the way it goes. Rowe looks like he's hurt. Eddie Hocking's on the ground for the Dogs, and Paul Nichols for the Bloods. As they go forward now, the Bloods. Winter on a lead. Couldn't quite take it. Botka with him. And we'll have another throw up. James,
Neville,
in your screen.
Neville Peter Winter has gone to full forward. West Adelaide were changing their ruckman there in the first half, so the change is on.
Yes, Kevin Morris just looking for something in the forward line. There's Filkey. Grantley Filkey puts it into the square. Miller underneath it. Almost takes a clever mark. Scott Lee doesn't have the ball. Is held. Sullivan desperate. Ball out of bounds. Forward pocket for the Bloods.
Burgess has gone to centre half back. Patterson to half back. And Larkins, who's playing on the other half-back flank, is picking up and shadowing Greg Smith wherever he goes. Coming through strongly, Carl Herbert, he threads it out. Oh, Gavin Chaplin was held, no doubt about that. The umpire saw it too. Free kick. Now the little fella's just about to get thrown away. 15-metre penalty. Jeff James, the offender. Gavin Chaplin and Trevor Rowe coming off the field with that ankle injury. Chaplin through the centre of the field. Oh, no one can take the mark. Spawn there, but now Filkey chips in short. Oh, good work, West Adelaide, underneath that one. Jeff James has the mark. And James, who has won. And there's the interchange being made. Kickett, who played a shocker in the first half, perhaps lacking some fitness. First game back after injury. As Rowe comes off with that leg injury, he'll go straight down for treatment into the rooms. James, part of the revival late in the second quarter where he kicked a goal at the 24-minute mark. Lines up again, he's got it. That's what West Adelaide want. They go to 6 goals too. The Bulldogs 7-11 on 10 Sports Action.
Jeff James kicking his second goal. Kick one in the second. And one now. He's a dangerous player. Can kick goals from any angle. And playing on the ball, resting at half forward. Robert Handley's come up to cover for Rowe, who's gone off, and Kickett, who was replaced at half-time by Hocking, has gone back onto the ground and will start in the forward pocket. At the centre bounce, Lounder gets the knock to Thomas. The Dogs are forward. Underneath it was Nichols, but taking a good mark like Patterson. Filkey now from Lowby. Oh, he misses the ball there under a lot of pressure from McAdam. Not a lot of West Adelaide players running in to help. They're slow coming to aid. Seem to be sitting out waiting for players to beat 2 and 3 Central Districts players.
15 points now the margin. Can West Adelaide come back? Lounder in ruck. It was Bubner who did most of the ruck work for the first quarter and a half before Lounder had a run on the ball. Now a throw in centre field, grandstand side. Lounder opposed to Darren Barch. Barch from behind, but Lounder got the tap. Oh, free kick going the way of Lounder. He threads it off. Schwert in turn. Van Dommel, the Bulldogs build from centre wing. Now Van Dommel to the outer side. He was looking for Lally. Now Kickett. Goss is there with him. Goss played very well first half. It rebounds to Lally from Philip Graham. Cleverly done. Burgess. Oh, he's a solid defender. Burgess pops the ball high. Toomey front position. Couldn't take it. Now the crumbs. Over goes the handball. Oh, this is dangerous. Shaw left it behind. Jamie Thomas. Off it goes Van Dommel. In turn, the freak, McAdam. He was a star the first half, and Kickett. Oh, well, the Bulldogs are moving the ball around. Possession football for the Bulldogs, and this is only kick number 4 for Derek Kickett. Quiet day, but can he unleash when he gets going? The kick's a shocker. Underneath that one, Eddie Hocking couldn't take it. He's taken the ground. This will be a ball up, and umpire Michael Abbott will come in and bounce. Almost 6 minutes gone, third term from Footy Park, and it's been a great encounter.
Just get a feeling that West Adelaide are doing enough work, but their possession is not good enough. They're making too many mistakes, and they're wasting the ball just so often. And, Shaw there, just taking the ball over the line. The safety and defence. So West Adelaide 6 goal 3-39. Central District 7-12-54.
Goss continues to kick the ball out. Long to the outer side. It's another good kick at the front of the pack. Barch. Oh, he's a much improved player, this youngster. I like the look of him. Certainly puts himself where the ball is. Barch over the top into space. Filkey. West Adelaide. Kick number 17 for Filkey. They trail by 16 points, but they're not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure. Brady through solidly, taken out of it by Lamb. Now Lally fumbles off a handball. Thomas thumps it forward into space. Oh, Chaplin, he did that well, created enough room. Kicks it into space also. Barch there, so too Goss. Oh, plenty of work applied behind play. Shaw's taken the ground. Lowby through solidly, couldn't dispatch the handball. Now Filkey for West Adelaide. Play on's the call. The umpire's letting it go. Chaplin's thrown away. It rebounds forward. Shaw. Oh, they're desperate both sides. Neither giving an inch. Big Lounder has the mark, and the big fella will go back and feed off.
That's exactly what he does to Swert, but he's under pressure. Van Dommel lends a hand back to Swert on his left foot. It's all the Bloods. It's a choice of players. Barch has it. Chips short back to the centre of the ground. Finds Lamb. He goes on with it, but he puts his player under a lot of pressure in Burgess. Burgess quick enough to punch it forward. Spawn on the end of it. He goes to Larkins, and the Bloods build as Miller's on a lead. As it often doesn't hit a, as it often does, it doesn't find a player, but Miller's good enough to recover. So often they waste the ball. Carl Herbert now, he's tackled by Brady. McAdam through, Miller fighting hard, pushes it out. James on the end of it, so too is Lally. And the umpire will come in and ball up.
Neville, there were about 8 tackles, close body tackles applied there in the space of 20 seconds. It's really desperate footy.
It is desperate. The defence of Central Districts has been that way all day and frustrated nearly every forward attempt that West Adelaide have made. Just been unable to find a forward who can organise some space up there. Jamie Thomas, as he normally does, battles hard, pushes the ball in their direction. Larkins gives it off to Barch. And there's another example of poor disposal to Spawn, but McAdam overruns it. Bennett now chips in to Miller. He finds that player. He has one. He's close enough to score. He'd only be 40 metres out. Laurie Argent supervises the angle. About 60 degrees. A goal here will bring them within 10 points of the Dogs. And then there's a real game at hand. A lot of pressure. Bandages on both wrists. And the Central Districts player, Smith, that is looks like a dislocated elbow to me. Smith chips away at, not Smith, Miller chips away at goal and misses. That's a valuable attempt, gone astray. And let's hope they don't have to pay for that too severely. So the score now, 7-12-54 to West Adelaide, 6-3-39.
That was an important shot for West Adelaide. They needed that goal. Now Van Dommel bounds away. Off it goes to Sullivan. Solid defender in the first half. Drives it towards Philip Graham, who spent most of the first half on the interchange bench. Now Larkins, who had the job of shadowing Smith. Let's hope he wasn't involved in that incident when Smith had to leave the ground. West Adelaide forward. Under that, McKinnon. Schwert spoils from behind. Sullivan threw that out. Schwert dispatched the kick. Quickly there is Brady and Toomey using his body, but there's been a free kick picked out and it's going the way of the Bulldogs. Brady. Umpire indicated that he was held by Toomey. Kick number 8 for Brady. Oh, Lounder was swamped. Spawn thumps it down. Kick it over the top. Well done, McAdam, the star. Into the open goal. He's got it. Good work to Gilbert McAdam. That's his second goal. Kick number 14. This youngster is a sensation.
Well, McAdam has been able to find a lot of space most of the afternoon. Let's have a lot of those Central Districts players. And Gilbert McAdam from a very talented family. But all the assets that a good forward, or good footballer for that matter, needs. On that occasion, just reading the play well, getting on the end of it, and kicking a valuable goal for the Dogs.
Gilbert McAdam has certainly had the better of Kieran Spawn on centre wing. Now Lounder in ruck, opposed to Barch. This time it's Barch with the tap to ground. He butters up for a second opportunity. Carl Herbert feeds it out. Pushing it forward was Shaw. Now Lamb dispatches the handball, but the umpire indicated it was a throw. Right on the spot, Michael Abbott. And the free kick is going to that football genius, McAdam. The kick towards half forward. Underneath that, Barch roving. Pushed it wide. Randall Bennett in space. After him is Hanley. That's holding the ball, no doubt about that. No talk for West Adelaide. Hanley has Chaplin short. He heads that way too. That's good vision. And Gavin Chaplin, who has one goal and has been a very busy rover this afternoon, picks up another possession. So 14 kicks, 5 handballs, almost 20 possessions. We've only played 11.5 minutes into the third term. A busy rover. Drives long. Will it make the distance? It's going to just get there on the line. Off hands. It comes back into play. Larkins there. Jamie Thomas also. But the boundary line has beaten all of them. And again, another throw in.
West Adelaide starting to do a little bit more work. Let's hope they can convert that to a score. Barch in front. Burgess gets the handball on the end of that. Randall Bennett has a bit of time. Decides to kick it himself. Goes back towards the wing. Lounder uncontested in front. Can't leave a fellow like that sitting behind the play and direct the ball to him. First kick as he pushes it in poorly. In the way, Barch. Barch a chance to get the Bloods moving again as he goes to Bennett. Bennett now. Let's see where he kicks it this time. Underneath it, James. With him, Pryor. Girdham throws it out towards Lounder. McKinnon helps out there. Tries to get his feet. Does it well. Paddles along the boundary line. James helps out as well. As they gain valuable metres towards their own goal, they're now at centre wing. Plenty of hard work going on in there, plenty of bodies. Central Districts realise there's a real effort being made by West Adelaide players to turn themselves around. Lounder fighting hard. Out of there, Shaw gives it back to Larkins. High to half forward. Pryor punches it forward. Hocking just on the ground again. Lally, left foot. Finds Girdham by himself. Hanley now running. Chase from full forward, gone up the ground, but in the way is Dale Laube, and he'll relieve the pressure.
Rick Laube, in fact. Been a pretty solid player in defence. He's run himself into a little bit of bother there. Got out of it well. Short he goes, centre field. Randall Bennett swings on the left boot. Doesn't he always? Towards the outer half forward flank. Underneath that one, Winter set himself. McKinnon is hurt. He got crunched by a pack as they came down. West Adelaide really haven't had much forward movement. Scott Lee pushed the ball forward, but in the way Burgess, 15-metre penalty. It's a North Adelaide tactic, just put him to ground and earn the 15-metre. Let your defence get into position before the ball comes in. 17 possessions for Burgess. Oh, good mark taken out there. Underneath that one, looks to be Krattley-Filkey. It is. Filkey plays on quickly, off to Carl Herbert on the left boot. Can he drill it through for a goal? Miller's there. He's up. Lounder in front, but there's been a shepherding. Was certainly there. So now Stephen Miller, who was shepherded out of that one. An opportunity from 5 metres out to drill this through for West Adelaide's 7th goal, and don't they need it? They trail by 21 points. A goal here will put them back within 15 points. They really are making a game of this. Kick number 7 for Miller as he comes in. He kicked 3 last week when they defeated Port Adelaide. That's his 2nd goal. Good work, Stephen Miller. The Bloods, can they come back?
Well, they're doing a lot more work. And just previous to that forward movement, the Bloods went into half forward, and they just really don't see players that are by themselves. They just prefer to kick long and hope that players get underneath the ball. So I just feel that with a side that hasn't got a lot of height, they've got to use possession. But Miller on that occasion was shepherded out illegally. And from that point-blank range, no chance of a mistake.
Barch really is an improved ruckman. In fact, he's on top of Lounder at this stage of the quarter. Oh, dead heat for that one. It goes down. Filkey, oh, now Kickett having a run downfield. Tried to get himself through, couldn't do so. Randall Bennett over the top of it, working desperately. Kickett kicks it off the ground. Gurdon feeds it through. Pryor was the runner. Now an opportunity for Chaplin. Back to Kickett. Short it goes. Out there underneath that one, Eddie Hocking. This way, that way. Feeds back. McAdam. Short. Out wide under this one. Hanley. Oh, no. Thomas. Can he play on? He does. In the pocket. Over the head of Graham. And out of play as Lally can't control it. On a very promising attacking movement by Central District. Just went astray. They didn't deliver the ball as they could have.
West Adelaide backline done a pretty good job despite the amount of times the ball's come through there. On occasion just putting enough pressure on to force errors. Spawn gives off to Rick Lowby on his left foot, grandstand side. Toomey up high, great grab. David Toomey. He's played well today. 7 kicks, 7 handballs. Been a very effective player. Back into the centre of the ground. Underneath that, Neville Shaw been reasonably quiet. Oh, but Krattley-Filkey ins get around, goes towards Bennett. Can't find him. Oh, they're messing it up a bit again. Carl Herbert back to Lamb. Just be better off to put it into the square. Goes towards James. That's successful. He has 2 goals. Changing over to Ruck Rover at the half-forward line. Into the square with his 6th kick. Not well directed, on the wrong side of Winter. Puts him under enormous pressure as the Dogs through Pryor, Crum, Winter with no help. Bodka over the top to find Sullivan. Strong to Chaplin. Plenty of time. They have a look, decide what they want to do. 16th kick from Chaplin. That's to Graham. A talented player. Socks down, into Eddie Hocking. He's pushed as he dives for the ball. No free kick. Gurdon goes back down the ground. Graham does it again. Let's see what he can do this time. On this occasion, he finds McAdam. And this player has just been everywhere. 2 goals, 1 from 17 kicks. Peripatetic player if I've ever seen one. 45 metres out. Let's see what he can do. He goes towards goal. What a great effort. What a great goal. Gilbert McAdam gets his 3rd, and the Dogs kick their 9th on 10 Sports Action.
18 minutes gone into the 3rd term, and Gilbert McAdam has kicked both Central District goals this quarter. And without his contribution, I fear that maybe the Bulldogs could have been in trouble. That's the steadier that they required. The margin now back to 21 points, and the Bulldogs still have that little bit of breathing space.
Lounder. But it's Barsh who gets the knock. Chaplin gets his foot to it in soccer style, but in the way, Paul Nichols on the ground at half-time, number 32. First kick, away he goes. Grandstand side. Looking for Barch. Oh, it comes to Spawn. Got a chance to use his pace. All the forwards have moved. He has to use it inside of where he wants to. Goes to McKinnon. They've set up well. Toomey, can he kick accurately? He does. That's his second. And the Bloods come back on 10 Sports Action.
And that goal was an indication of what perseverance West Adelaide have been applying today. They just kept persevering. That was good team football. Toomey was the man that finished it off, but it started downfield. They moved the ball around pretty well. As Barch comes off for a rest, Jens Kreuter comes back onto the field to take up the ruck work for the Bloods.
Bloods are working harder, getting players to the ball. They're starting to use it better. Their possessions are good. Kreuter. Jens. Up he goes. Launer gets the knock. Jamie Thomas forces the ball out. Van Dommel can't pick it up. Kickett can get it out. Tries to give Chaplin the run of it. Patterson through very strongly. Oh, bad handball. Loose to McAdam. He pushes it to the square. Underneath it, doing a good job. Goss against Bubner. Goss wins out. 1 point only. And the pressure removed from West Adelaide's back. 9-12-66. West Adelaide 8-3-51.
Goss, watch this kick. It's a searching kick. Oh, a wobbly one, however. He was looking for Patterson. Girdham almost stole the mark. The umpire indicated play on Patterson with the kick forward. Toomey underneath that one. Oh, great mark, Pryor. The umpire paid it. That's courage. Pryor to kick it. Oh, he has a paddock in which to move. He made it hard for himself. He went back the other way. Oh, Chaplin took it too easy. Now Filkey taking the ground. Play on the call. Ball up. The order of the day. 20 minutes gone, third term, Footy Park, and 16 points the margin. The Bulldogs fighting hard.
I hope the West Adelaide players realise that this game is well within their grasp, but they're just not picking up players that would make Kevin Morris absolutely furious. The ball comes out to McAdam. Van Dommel running through there. Jamie Thomas gets it through to Graham as they set up. Graham goes goalwards. Let's have a look. He's kicked the goal for the Dogs. 10 goals, 13-73, and the Bloods 8-3-51 on 10 Sports Action.
Philip Graham finishing off, and that's exactly what Neville Roberts was referring to. West Adelaide unable to pick up a man. Jamie Thomas was free, Chaplin was free, so too Philip Graham, and it was Graham who nailed that goal, and again the Bulldogs have some breathing space.
Yes, 22 points. That's enough breathing space. They only have to increase that by another 6 or 12 points. And I think the fate then is secure for the Bloods. Kick it well up. Over the ball there, Thomas. Oh, quick of hands, Brady to kick it. Back to Van Dommel. Look at players everywhere here. Through there comes McAdam. He goes goalwards. Oh, is he going to get a bounce? What a great goal. That's his third, and the Dogs 11th on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, in fact, that's Gilbert McAdam's fourth goal. Great work to McAdam. That's the nail in the coffin for West Adelaide. You can see the resolution in Neil Curley's eyes. He just watched, and there behind Neil Curley, Peter Jonas. He's watching his side, sitting at the top of the ladder. And back from North Melbourne, Peter Jonas, once he's recovered from that broken, I think, arm this time. He's had 2 broken legs at North Melbourne and 1 broken arm. The broken arm was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he's back with the Bulldogs.
Well, the 21-minute mark is where West Adelaide will lose the game if that, in fact, is the result. Only about 15 points behind at that stage, playing well. They now find themselves 28 points behind and not doing it well at all. Pryor with pace comes through, and a determined effort. He's unloaded. Free after disposal? No. Rick Lowby first to it. Chips short, finds McKinnon. So the Bloods just have to steady under a lot of pressure. What a powerful forward line. What a powerful team the Dogs are when they go forward. Not many can keep with them. They can change the flavour of a game within seconds.
Oh, and they have done so, Neville. The last 3 minutes, they've damaged West Adelaide. They've scored 2 quick goals, and they've changed the flavour of this game.
Launder against Kreuter. Launder gets it down to Van Dommel. His kick high to half forward. Underneath it, Chaplin loses it in the sun. Clayton Lamb. He gives off now. Looks like Nichols. Nichols to Goss. And the Bloods build. Oh, handball through the centre of the ground. Goes to Spawn. to Burgess, to Filkey, to Larkins. Poor handball. If it sits, they'll get away with it. That's okay. Larkins chips in short. Looking for James, couldn't find him. Squirt strongly through. The defence stands up again, as it has all day. Graham, been a good player. With his 7th kick, chips to Kickett. Kickett can't take it. He's had a horror day, Kickett. The ball comes back in the forward line. Scott Lee in the way and relieves the pressure. Back to the centre of the ground, underneath it, Thomas. Gives off to Hanley. Hanley's had a good day, started at full forward. Hocking and Van Dommel. Spawn there. Off the ground, Thomas. Goss, very serious. Bubner lets him go through. He's tripped. And Peter Bubner doesn't look very well. But, Jamie Thomas tells him, "You got a free kick, pal. Get up and take it." And then up he gets with a little bit of help from his friends. And whatever is sore, I'm sure he'll cope with. Peter Bubner. 1 goal in the first quarter. And this is something the Bloods don't need to happen. And that's for this fellow to kick true. Don't know if I'd rather have the ball in a better hand if I was this man. Neil Curley. Be very confident about this Peter Bubner's ability to kick. And he comes. Takes his time. His second, the Dogs 12 as they run away with it on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, and run away with it they do. 85 plays 51. They're now 34 points clear. And this game appears to be well within Central District's grasp. They played very, very well today. It was 25 points the margin at quarter time, 21 points at half time. But now 34 points. It looks pretty comfortable for the Bulldogs.
Laurie Argent puts the ball down. It'll be Lounder against Kreuter. Kreuter gets the knock. Lally through. Should be a ball up, it is. Van Dommel in your screen. Grantley Filkey there. Wouldn't be too happy with the state of play at the moment. Grantley Filkey really had an opportunity about the 21-minute mark of this quarter, but just weren't up to it. Far too talented, the Dogs. Kickett doesn't appear to be too fit. Probably still getting over that injury. Toomey hasn't been their worst player. To half forward, Patterson drops it under pressure from Swirt. Swirt goes back, has a look, gives to Lee. Lee to Brady, taps on. Clever football by Kakort. It's a good tackle by Herbert. And there's a free kick to Sullivan. Not sure what it was for. West Adelaide not that happy about it either. Van Dommel goes on to Pryor. He provided plenty of run off that half back line. Very strong in defence. McKinnon back turns into absolutely nowhere except Central District's players. Bennett high to the centre of the ground. Miller. Toomey tries to shepherd. It was a good effort. Lally and Patterson. Lally held, no free kick. James tries to get his foot to it. Mildly successful. Miller taps it on. Scott Lee through. Likes to play in front and back his judgment. Pryor. Cleverly around the corner. Tries to find Girdham. Girdham battles hard. On his knees. Well, West Adelaide just not up to it. Lee provides an option. He goes to Hanley. Hanley to Van Dommel, and the Dogs go forward. Goes to the square. Underneath it, Goss. If the bounce sits, Goss will have it. He can go either way, but the umpire rules 1 point only. And Goss will get his kick anyway, but under the supervision of the umpire. So the score is 12-14, 86 the Dogs. West Adelaide 8-3, 51.
Goss to centre half back. Kreuter underneath that one is marked in front of Lounder. That's Richard Lounder. His younger brother Phil playing with the club. Filkey interfered with by Kickett, and Kickett is having a shocker. Doesn't look fit at all. I think you're quite right, Neville. Kick number 19 for Filkey. Into space it goes, out on the lead. Neville Shaw, one step, bang, drives it forward. James out. Winter underneath that one. Botka there also. Patterson over the top, number 8 for West Adelaide. Umpire Abbott, a game will bounce. 28.5 minutes gone. Third term footy park. The margin now 35 points. The Bulldogs pretty much in control, but West Adelaide dishing this game up to them. Lounders tap wide. Lally now back there. Van Dommel, a short one. He was looking for Handley. It was too long for that player. McKinnon crashed through, dispatched the handball. Oh, but over the top it goes again. Van Dommel looking for Handley. Carl Herbert there picking up the crumbs. Threads his way around the pack, dispatches the kick. And it's out of bounds on the full. He was under plenty of pressure. And that's indicative of the Bulldog defence. They've been solid at the West Adelaide players all day. And there, as the siren sounds to complete the third term, Central District 12 goals, 14-86 have served it up pretty well to West Adelaide. 8 goals, 351 on 10 Sports Action.
We start the last quarter at Footy Park. Dogs led by 25 points at the first break, 21 at half-time. They increased that by 14 in the third quarter, lead by 35. Lounder gets the knock to kick it. Cleverly, he gets it on when Dogs go forward again. Oh, through strongly there. Bubner doing the crumbing. He's had a darn good day, Bubner. Through there, Burgess. He hasn't been their worst player by any means. As if by magic, he just puts it a metre inside the line and will have a throw in half-back line for West Adelaide. Really, at that 21-minute mark of the third quarter, they had a real opportunity, West Adelaide. They just weren't up to it. Too much power in their forward line, Central Districts, and they increased their lead almost to too much for the Bloods at the moment. Neville Shaw done very little today. Girdham over the top of it. McKinnon with him. Shaw again. James off the ground, unsuccessful, but Bennett gives it off to Lamb. Quick of hand. In the way, Lally, Schwert, Pryor, Bennett, through strongly to me. Had an influence since going to centre half forward. Grantley Filkey very quickly to Spawn. He'll use his pace. He's on his wrong foot. Goes into the square. Winter there with him, Botka. This is where they're falling down all day. Harbison on the ground at three-quarter time, trying to give him a bit of bite. But once again, the Dog defence far too strong. We'll have a throw in 40 metres around grandstand side from the Dogs' goal.
That's been true virtually all day. The Central District defence has been rock solid. In fact, they've built almost all their attacking movements from their half-back line, and that's one of the players that's been instrumental in that. Scott Lee, been an outstanding player, particularly in the first half when the game really was very tight. Scott Lee's had 20 possessions from a back pocket, pretty good statistics. Craig Brady, Toomey came in over the top, thumped it to ground. Schwert over the top of it. He's manhandled, but still gets away the handball. Van Dommel thumps it down and across the line, and again we'll have another throw in. Brady will do the ruck work again. Miller, number 26 for West Adelaide. A lot shorter, but he has a good spring. Took front position, paddles it down. Van Dommel, first man there. He paddles it again towards the line. Quite content to see it finish there, but he's just realising that he had no support.
35 points, the margin, 2 minutes into the final quarter. I don't think West Adelaide have got enough forwards to kick that many goals. Still, we'll find out. Filkey still working hard. In there, Van Dommel.
And Neville, you're very right. West Adelaide, in fact, haven't got a goal scorer in the top 15 within the league, and that's indicative of their forward setup.
And the return of Roger Luders might have offered some hope, but he was injured in the reserves today. And what a tragic career he's had. Reads like a bad train accident. Schwert gives off to Shaw. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but the poor lad's just had injury after injury. And he's been stricken with more today. But nonetheless, he's made a commitment to come back, so possibly they can get him back into that forward line and start opening up a bit of space. Brady does the ruck work. Chaplin there working hard, tries to get it out to Thomas. Bennett now working hard. Players in a bit closer for West Adelaide. That'll help them. Grantley Filkey getting in there. We'll have a ball up, and Central District won't let West Adelaide build on anything at the moment. They realise if they hang on and don't let them score for 10 or 15 minutes, the game will be well and truly theirs.
35 points, still the margin. West Adelaide need goals quickly. Miller endeavours to thump the ball out. Van Dommel threads it off. Well done on that occasion. The Bulldogs build. That was Sullivan to Handley. Handley forward. Now Chaplin back to Girdham. Into space. Off it goes Eddie Hocking. Oh, he almost dropped that. Called to play on by the umpire, does so, drives long towards Bubner, leading out from the square. Goss misread that one. Bubner now the crumbs, out to Lally, looks to head out the back door, couldn't do so. Nichols dives in on top of it. Lally threads it through. But now Burgess dives in on top of it and forces the ball up. We've played just on 4 minutes into the final term. By Laurie Argent will bounce. In ruck, Barch. Posed to Bubner, came down. Philip Graham on the left boot. He snaps at goal. It's coming around very high. Girdham in the square, coming out underneath it and taking another good mark. Glenn Goss, who's been a very good player today for West Adelaide.
Yeah, along with Burgess, that's Goss's 10th kick. Burgess has had 19 touches, 10 kicks and 9 handballs, and both of them being good players. Paul Nichols on after the half-time break, comes away with it. Goes along the line to half forward. Carl Herbert against Scott Lee, interfered with in the back. That's the way the umpire sees it, and Carl Herbert will take his free kick half forward line for the Bloods. He goes in towards Harbinson, but in the way and doing it well, Mark Pryor. He's been a good player for the Dogs today. 11th kick, short to Van Dommel. Risky. Van Dommel crumbs. Telling me they're offering some competition, but not enough. White kick comes away with it. Sullivan it is, number 11. A strong athlete, no pressure. Left foot into half forward. Graham against Burgess. Burgess slips, gets his feet, comes out with the ball. What a great player he's been today. Randall Bennett on his left foot, back to half forward, but it's all Central Districts. Sullivan takes it to Van Dommel, to Jamie Thomas, kicks under pressure, loses ground, with luck's a fortune. Botka now, right foot in, McAdam. Absolute genius with the football, finds space. He's got a real estate office down here at Footy Park. Just bought half a Footy Park and won't let anyone else in. Scott Lee back towards the pocket and finds Hanley. Hanley opened well. He's kicked 2 goals, both in the first. The left footer comes in with his 13th kick, pushes it towards goal. What a great effort, Robert Hanley. Not a goal though. Goss comes to McKinnon and the Bloods are out of trouble.
Oh, Goss really has been a stout defender today. McKinnon handballs it back to Burgess. Oh, Burgess was in trouble. Girdham back, hocking through. Can he dispatch the handball? He can't. Nichols desperately out of defence. Drives to space. Lamb heads towards the ball. Look at Girdham go. He's running him down. It goes across. In fact, it was Scott Lee. Carl Herbert missed the ball. Can he pick it up? Looks to handball off, does so. Lamb in turn, Filkey over the top, Winter there in the square, into the open goal, and Peter Winter has put West Adelaide's 9th goal on the board. The Bloods 9 goals 3, Central District 12-14 on 10 Sports Action.
Well, they very nearly mucked that one up, and Winter, who really was on the end of it, didn't have a lot to do with the build-up, but previous to that, 2 West Adelaide players really were indecisive, didn't really know what to do with it. One should have shepherded. It was Lamb and Herbert together, and they really couldn't work out who should shepherd or who should go. But in the end, all worked out, and Winter scored the Bloods' 9th goal.
Bloods making hard work of it. Barch in ruck, Lounder got that tap down. Jamie Thomas dispatched the handball. Oh, McKinnon there throws it a long way wide. James threads it off. Neville Shaw back to James. West Adelaide building again. This could be promising. Oh, Miller couldn't take it. At the back it was Winter. Oh, it's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Winter to full forward has been a good move. He's given them something to kick at. Middle way through that 3rd term. Kick number 6, lines it up. It's his 2nd goal. Are the Bloods on the way back? This could be dangerous to the Bulldogs. They need to consolidate, and Peter Winter has his 2nd.
Well, they've brought the score back within 23 points, and no one would have thought that it would have been possible for the Bloods to actually make a comeback. We didn't give them credit for having a player forward, but Peter Winter has made a little bit of difference. He's a player that can read the play. He's reasonably predictable. He's got some height. He can take a mark. Let's hope they can use him to get back in it.
Barsh in ruck has done a good job. Attendance at Football Park, 5,500 people. A bit disappointing considering the importance of this game and the conditions. Nichols thumps it wide. Spawn sets out after it. Nichols in pursuit again, kicks it away to space. Lally first man there for the Bulldogs. Basketball style, he bounces it and picks it up. Off it goes to Schwert, in turn Hanley. The Bulldogs now starting to build. They haven't scored at all this term. Chaplin marked inside the boundary line. McKinnon gives him close attention. 25 possessions this afternoon for Chaplin. Not a bad Rovers game. Girdham couldn't take it. McAdams there. Now Kieran Spawn. He's fought back after being belted by McAdam early. Oh, Lounder. The big fella's up. He really did exert himself. Came down with the ball. Off it goes. He was looking for Kickett, who's hopelessly out of form. Hanley pumps it along the ground. Goss still playing well. Shaw long to space. Oh, Lamb the only target. The crumbs go to Filkey. Who has he got to work with? Out of defence, he uses Larkins on the left boot. He was looking down forward there for Miller. Miller was looking for the free kick, but there's no free, and a throw-in will take place. Almost 10 minutes gone, final term. We're now back to 23 points in West Adelaide. If they're good enough, have still got time.
Well, it's become quite possible for the Bloods if they're good enough now. The score's not a problem. Plenty of time left. Only 10 minutes gone. James turns it in. Winter kicked their last two. Vodka wins this contest. To the wing is good football. Chaplin onto Lounder, the big fella, able to get it away to Thomas. Wide on the wing. Hanley supports him. West Adelaide player down, not looking well in the centre of the ground. As Lowby comes through, kick it in his road. McKinnon. Lowby's been paid a free kick. Goes on quickly to McKinnon. The Bloods build again. He centres the ball to Larkins. Larkins off the ground, couldn't manage it. Back to Carl Herbert, who was the player that was down previously. He's down again, he's in the wars. Behind Miller, can't quite take it over the top. He battles hard. Harbison it was. James held without the ball, no free kick. Van Dommel pushes it out. Shaw battling hard. The Bloods are making a game of it now. Winter catches Lally. Van Dommel gets his foot to it. Landley quickly just wants to get it out of trouble. Girdham in the way is a bit of luck. He steadies. Back to Chaplin. Chaplin has time to have a look. Goes to McAdam. Well, Graham it is. Steady. They just steady, but McKinnon gives away a 15-metre penalty. Ninth kick to Graham with this one. And McKinnon penalised. But unlucky because Graham might have been wanting to get the ball moving. That's his style. He has one goal. And this could well and truly hurt the Bloods' comeback. He kicks true. That's his second, and the Dogs 13th on 10 Sports Action.
It's now going to be a test of character for West Adelaide. That goal could take the wind out of West Adelaide's sails, or it could spur them into an even greater comeback. So this will be the test. That's the Bulldogs' first score this term, and did they need it? And I think perhaps Philip Graham might count himself a little bit lucky. I thought he was off.
It'll be Lounder against Barch. Lounder, what a big man he is. Bearded Lounder in, taps it, crumbs it, tries to give off to Thomas. Bennett in the road. Lamb pushes him forward on his left foot. What a monstrous kick underneath it. Shaw can't quite take it. Winter will be there to lend a hand. Butker and Lee run at them. Shaw now, just no pace, but shrugs them off. Goes goalwards in the square. Miller takes a mark. Is he paid? No mark there. And Sullivan playing it. I think there's anything in it. Looks like World Championship Wrestling. I think Sullivan played for that, is my opinion, but nonetheless, a bit trivial to get a report from.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Rock. We weren't as close to the action as the umpire was, but it didn't look serious at all from up here. I thought Sullivan might have staged for it as well, or at least that's the way it looked. Barch with the ball. 13 minutes gone. Can the Bloods come back? They've been fighting on solidly this final term. Barch to full forward. Miller! Oh, he almost took it. Couldn't come down with the ball. McAdam's kicked it out of bounds on the full, and that's the first mistake McAdam has made this afternoon. Miller, natural left footer, plays on the left foot. Oh, he's got it! He's nailed it. Miller's third goal, and what a crucial one for the Bloods. That might be the one that lifts them.
Well, despite being reported for a fairly trivial incident, he's had his hands on two balls into the square, just hasn't been able to quite bring him to ground and be paid the mark. He's got the cool and the presence to stay with it, very determined. Just look at him now. He senses that he's got a chance to lead the Bloods back into the game, and he's kicked a great goal off the boundary.
18 points the margin as Barch pumped up like a balloon. Gets the tap down, Kickett. Hands on the ball but couldn't get clear, and oh, that's been Derek Kickett's day today, unfortunately. Sadly out of touch. Perhaps he needs the game under his belt. Argent. Lounder, what a thump. 25 yards, it rebounded Lally. The crumbs. Now Philip Graham threads through the handball. Oh, that was good work. He got it through. Van Dommel forward. Gurdon threads it off. Hocking into the open goal. Can he get there? Bubner's there. Oh, desperate work by the West Adelaide defence. Touched off hands and through for one behind. And what great work by the West Adelaide defence.
In particular, Carl Herbert. It just wasn't going to be a goal. And Goss and Herbert and Patterson, in very desperate football, save the goal. Spawn gives the lead to Goss. He decides to go safety first. Pays off to Brandel Bennett. Want to get it moving quickly. 17th kick, but he handballed that one, so it's 16 and a multitude of handballs. 8 handballs, in fact. And Kickett with the ball and a 15-metre penalty. Just relieve the pressure. He goes short. Chaplin. Where are the West Adelaide Rovers? It's too loose in this type of game. He goes to Bubner as a great kick. Just got to pick up West Adelaide. You can't leave them spare. And very hard for Patterson to go with Bubner with a kick coming in with no pressure and delivered as well as that was. Peter Bubner, he got hit in the first quarter. It took some time getting to his feet. He kicked a goal from that particular incident. Appears to still be carrying it. Lownder's on the ground. He's doing most of the ruck work now. Peter Bubner has 2 goals. This is kick number 7 for him. 18 points the difference. Kevin Morris will be wriggling in his seat. Just don't need a goal. And he comes. It's wide. The Bloods breathe again. 13-16, 94. West Adelaide 11-4, 70. And the Bloods still in it.
Patterson from full back plays direct football straight down the ground. Lamb underneath it with Lounder. Neither could take it. Pryor threads his way through the pack. Off it goes Goss, who's been a great player today. Oh, crashes through, threads it off. Carl Herbert on the left boot, punches it high, Kickett underneath it. Oh, and Kickett has taken a well-judged mark. Starting to run into something that appears to be a little bit of form. Kickett, number 9, 5 handballs also, all of them picked up in the second half. Cleverly done, Lally. Back to Schwert. Now Scott Lee through on the left foot, puts it out. Oh, Patterson was there with Bubner. Good work, Patterson. Drives long. Harbison there from behind Lally. Oh, Lally's got the mark and he'll be paid it. Oh, the umpires. Oh, Eddie Hocking just letting Nichols know that he's not happy with something that happened behind play. Kick number 13 to Lally is good work. Chaplin, been a solid player. Oh, perfect possession football. And behind play, Clayton Lamb went down. He got clobbered. And now an opportunity for Jamie Thomas from about 45 metres out, almost directly in front, with his 27th possession to bang through his first goal. Thomas, if he gets this, it's good night West Adelaide. What can the Bloods do? Right on the line. Big Barch thumps it across the line. Through for one behind. 13-17. The Bulldogs, West Adelaide 11-4 on 10 Sports Action.
Gavin Chaplin that got the Dogs going in the first quarter. He's been responsible for their last 2 shots at goal. He just needs to be picked up if the Bloods are going to win this. And we're on the wing. Carl Herbert over the top of the ball with Scott Lee. Van Dommel there as well. Chaplin, the boy I just talked about, having a real influence late in the game. Goes to Pryor. Pryor on to Lally. Lally to Graham. He'll go goalward. He's offline. Kick one in the third. And would have dearly loved that goal. So the Dogs move along to 13-18, 96. They lead the Bloods 11-4, 70 on 10 Sports Action.
26 points the margin. The Bulldogs have kicked 1 goal for this term. West Adelaide have kicked 3 goals, 1. Oh, time running out for the Bloods. Bennett feeds it off. Nichols was the runner from half back to James. Been a little bit quiet the second half. He plays on That's been their instruction. Move the ball in quickly to the pocket. It goes. Miller used his body. The umpire's indicated it's a mark. Oh, and Stephen Miller went back looking for a 15-metre penalty. Caught on his wrong foot. He's a natural left footer. Difficult kick for goal from there. Stephen Miller has 3 goals, 1. Looks for a check side kick, a banana kick if you're a Victorian. He's banged it. Oh, he's got it. Great work, Miller. 4 goals to Miller. The Bloods aren't done yet.
Miller's had a real influence in what comeback there's been for the Bloods. He's kicked 1 goal in the second, 1 in the third, now 2 in the fourth. Both of them from both on the boundary line. He had his natural foot on the grandstand boundary earlier. He ran around and kicked it. And with a check side, did almost the impossible, and the Bloods are still in it.
4 goals, 1 to 1 goal for this term. The Bulldogs may be coasting. West Adelaide still deadly serious. Neil Curley wouldn't be too happy. Chaplin got his way through. How he did it. Created space. Kick number 22 for Chaplin. Great game as Hanley throws the ball towards the boundary line. The Bulldogs will be looking to play for time. Central District coach Neil Curley would certainly be very concerned. These are the sorts of games when an opposition side can sneak a win. West Adelaide trail by 20 points.
Barch against Lounder. Seems to be concerned about other things. Mostly Graham. No knock. Lamb. You want to use it. Toomey's on a lead. That's the way it goes. He almost had to catch that. There's 2 Central Districts players there. Brady mops up. Under no pressure at all. Pushes it back to half forward. McAdam from behind's a big leap. Can't take it. Thomas now. 13th kick. He comes back in. Barch underneath it. Oh, he's not paid. Gurdon crumbs around the body. He goes goalwards. That's his first goal if it is. That's the indication. They're 14th on 10 Sports Action.
I think that may well be the goal that has just sunk Kevin Morris's West Adelaide. Fans are starting to leave Football Park, and that's always a clear indication. Gurdon's goal was a beauty. Barch almost had the mark. It was almost paid, but unfortunately in football you pay what happens, not what's almost. And Gurdon gold, and that I think is the end of West Adelaide.
21-minute mark. We'll get it right soon. Barch gets the knock. Herbert. Spawn. They've had just as much of the football as Central District, just been unable to convert. Winter has made a difference since he's been there, but not enough. There's a throw indicated against Brady. Bennett has the ball. Looking for Miller with his 17th kick. Botka spoils. First to it will be Hanley, but the ball beats him out of bounds. So we're on just between half back and the pocket for the Bloods. Lounder in ruck against Miller. They'd need one quickly if there's any chance at all. Miller uses his body well. With his left foot, he goes goalwards. This will be close. Doesn't make the distance. Herbert does the crumbing. Taps it on to Harbinson. Oh, Harbinson trapped. Nowhere to go. Chips it back in. Oh, Winter takes a mark. Was called play on. He did the right thing. Shaw breaks through. Can he go? He does. That's his first. And his 16th kick. The Bloods 13th on 10 Sports Action.
Almost 23 minutes gone. The Bloods really are trying valiantly. There was some desperate work in their forward line on that occasion. Winter was called to play on. He had no option. Everyone thought he should have marked it and gone back, but it was touched off the boot. He played on. Shaw got the rebounding ball, drilled it through. 20 points to margin. Have the Bulldogs got this game won? Difficult to say.
Barch. In he comes. Time against them, but they're doing everything in their power, the Bloods. And I guess the real focus should be on the hand errors and disposal errors that they've made earlier in the game. And of course, just the basics they haven't picked up. People like Chaplin, etc., have just cut them to pieces. Jamie Thomas now off the ground, gives Chaplin the run. Eddie Hocking, quick with his hands, sees Hanley. Hanley now, natural left footer, chips it around the corner. Too much of an angle, couldn't screw it back. Out of bounds on the full. West Adelaide through Glenn Goss will bring the ball back to play. We've had nearly 24 minutes, so time really against them. 20 points They have to have 4 shots at goal, and all of them have to be straight. That really represents about 25–30% of their score, which they have to kick less than 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Maybe it's asking too much.
Only 6 minutes of football left. Goss needs to get a hurry on. Crikey, he's taking his time. West Adelaide need to move the ball through, as Neville's already said, and score 4 times very quickly if they want to win this game. No point holding off for a draw or restricting Centrals. That has to be all out. Pryor on the left boot, swings it back. He was looking for Girdham over that player's head. Streaming out Goss. Oh, he tried to crash his way through. McAdam was there. The will of the wisp dies on top of the ball. Umpire Abbott will bounce. And we're about 10 seconds from time on as McAdam just holds the ball, allows his ruckman time to come in and take position. Lounder is the Bulldog ruckman, opposed to Barch. It was Lounder who got it down. Oh, coming through strongly on that occasion was Van Dommel. Lally throws it away. McAdam run down by Larkins. Play on's the call. No, holding the ball, Larkins with the free. Larkins swings on the left boot. Kick number 9 through half forward. James flew, but he couldn't take it. Swert at the back of the pack could. Oh, he was off. Umpire was lucky. Swert was lucky the umpire didn't call play on. Now Lamb. Read that well. Centre field. He'll boom one into the full forward post. Miller's calling for it long. 22 possessions to Lamb. Not a bad game from half back. Grantley Filkey swings it in towards the centre half forward position. He was looking for Miller. It was too short. Lally handballs away. Now Shaw. He kicked the last goal. This one's going to be offline and out of bounds on the full. And I think 26 minutes gone. I think with the weather just fading, time running out, it's not going to be West Adelaide's day.
The odds lie with the Dogs. Mark Pryor. Plenty of experience. Won't be in any real hurry. Kicks it grandstand side. They set themselves from behind. Hanley has enough of the ball to be awarded the mark. This is kick number 18. Goes towards Sullivan. Spawn puts one hand up. Use his talents to get out of this. Goes to Lamb. He pushes it on towards Bennett. Shaw ends up with it. Goes back inside to Larkins. He's met by a bevy of Central District's players. Clayton Lamb off the ground to Carl Herbert. Back to Toomey. Toomey goes goalwards. That's his 3rd. And the Bloods 14th. Oh, they're trying to keep themselves alive on 10 Sports Action.
And to be fair to West Adelaide, they've kicked 6 goals this term. They've restricted the Bulldogs to 2. It's been a great performance. Toomey with his 3rd works solidly for that. They now trail by 14 points and there's 27 minutes gone. So can they get 2 goals too and get them quickly?
Barsh. Young ruckman. He's done a good job today. Lounder gets that. No, too many centimetres. Through there, Graham. He's had a good day. Grantley Filkey over the top of it. Shaw. Chaplin. Lounder. Graham. Hanley. Filkey. Plenty of players around the ball. I'm sure Central District are happy about that. Don't want too much movement. Herbert. Spawn ends up with it. Kicks around the body. First to it. Takes a good mark is Winter. Oh, they just won't give up, the Bloods. 27 minutes gone. This will take them to 96 points. Which will 94 points, which will put them within 2 goals. Winter goes goalwards. Oh, he's kicked it. That's his 3rd. He's made a difference at full forward. The Bloods 15th on 10 Sports Action.
And that goal was in fact Peter Winter's 3rd goal this term. 28 minutes and 20 seconds gone. Time is certainly running out, but West Adelaide are giving themselves a real show of winning this game. They trail by 8 points. Can they get it down and score one quick one and get it back to give themselves some chance?
8 goals kicked this quarter. Winter's made a difference. One wonders if they would have won it if they'd left him there or been there all day. It's not his natural position though. Without a forward, they've done well, the Bloods. Winter's kicked 3 this quarter. 7 they've kicked this term, the Bloods. Only 1 to Centrals. 2 it is to Centrals. So they've really had the play this quarter. Lounder, Lamb, He goes to Filkey. Oh, they build, but under pressure. Spawn has it, he's tackled. Herbert punches it forward. Toomey, with strength, loses his feet, gets up, kicks it off the ground. It'll go in the pocket and out of bounds. We played 29 minutes. I wouldn't have a guess at how much time on there is. They might go to 32 minutes. That is enough time if the Bloods are good enough. Launder, it's obvious what he wants to do. The Bloods will have to win the tap. They want to keep the ball in because I think Launder will just keep building it to the boundary.
Bulldogs with an 8-point margin. They can play for time. Launder directs his troops. Miller looks to come in and fly over the top. He used his body well. He got it back. Oh, well done. Filkey threads his way through, but it was cut off by Schwert. Good defensive work for the Bulldogs. High in the air. And under that one, Burgess. Oh, did he mark it? No, he didn't. Now the umpire will bounce. 30 minutes gone. Final term, Footy Park. Oh, and temper's getting flared out there. This one's going right down to the wire. West Adelaide haven't been killed off when they perhaps could have been by the Bulldogs. Barch kicks the ball forward. Who's got it? Larkins. He slips at the crucial stage. Across it goes. Harbison. Can he go? On the left boot. Comes in to goal. Oh, he's missed. Oh, if he'd have got that, what could have happened? And Harbison has missed. Oh, dear me.
32 shots at goal. The Dogs, only 20 West Adelaide, so they've done well with their conversion rate, despite that disappointing effort by Lamb. Barch seemed to take that, not paid. Carl Herbert shakes his head in absolute disbelief. There's the siren. The Dogs survive the 16th round with a win. 14-18, 102 points Central District. Beat West Adelaide 15-5, 95 on 10 Sports Action.